Hello and welcome to another edition of Extra Connections. I'm James Lott Jr, host, and now I would connect you with somebody that you probably have never been connected with before. And I'm very excited to bring people who are doing things out there for the public. I call him my Dutch cousin because he's Dutch. He's originally from the Netherlands, and he is. Go to comedyjuggler.com. It's a place you can see everything. He's an author of a book called How to Juggle. He is. Let me read some of his credits, folks. He is a four-time, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, four-time Guinness World Record holder, right? More than
I
that?
said 8, yeah, about 4 years standing, so that's good.
Good. He was voted Best Corporate Entertainer 2018 USA by the Corporate Vision magazine.
Yep.
He's also a member, like I am, of the International Juggler Association. I'm a member of them too.
So cool.
I have my balls.
Nice.
My juggling. He's also part of the International Magician Society, International Ventriloquist Society, and an Association of Family and Kids Show Performers. I'm so glad. He probably has much more things too going on, but Niels Duinker. Hi, Niels.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. It's so good to meet you. I'm so excited to talk to you about this because I learned how to juggle when I was 9 years old.
Nice.
I had a cousin come to visit. I live in LA. Come to visit, and was like, juggling. Let's show you how to juggle. And literally, we had lemon trees. So he showed me lemons. And so, like, you're a world-class juggler. I can do a few little things, but I'm not like you are. I'm still practicing and stuff. But I love the whole hand-eye coordination. So, I mean, so for you, what does juggling, like, do for you? Like, when you juggle, how do you feel?
Yeah, like it's real cool. Like there's different levels. So first, when you ask the question, what does it do? It's like what allows me to eat.
Oh, very good ahead. That's
the first thing.
Yes, you are a working juggler. You're working.
Yeah, right now, like I'm in the green room of the theater, and if you want to see it, the theater is like right around the corner, so we can walk in there as well if your listeners want to see that. But like, yeah, so now in the green room of the theater because in 2 days' time I'm opening my show here, so I'm gonna be doing my headlining juggling show.
Wow.
And besides my show, they also have 2 other shows, and I'm part of that one. So there was a spot in that show. And so we have 3 different shows in this theater. It's in Berlin, Ohio. So it's in a tourist town here in Ohio. And the shows are mostly around the weekend because that's what's most busy in this town is in the weekends.
So how did you book shows? Like how'd you get this show, this gig? How'd you get it?
Every show you kind of book differently. So like this one, because before this gig, I was in Pigeon Forge in Tennessee. Okay. That's the hometown of Dolly Parton, and you have the Comedy Barn Theater. Yep. And so I worked there for 3 years, and then the owners from this theater saw me at that theater, and they go, well, if they ever don't renew you or if there's ever something, you can come here. Like, we would love to have you. So that's how I ended up here this year. And Comedy Barn I booked because I was booked at a couple fairs around Tennessee for a little bit. And then the guy that owned the entire corporation, he was the senior cruise director of Carnival Cruise Lines for the longest time. And I worked on Carnival cruises. So it's kind of like if you do a good job and people see it, then very often at that one show, you meet people for the next show.
That makes sense. That's how it makes sense. How are you adjusting to Middle America? You're not in LA or New York. You're like in Middle America. So what is that like for you, from Mr. Dutchman?
So like, well, I have 3 years Comedy Barn to practice. So, but right now it's also like it's kind of unusual this town because it's very busy in the weekends, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's not as that busy, and then it's just like a small town, and then in the weekends it turns into a tourist town. It's kind of unusual, and it takes about an hour to drive to the closest highway.
Oh wow.
So it's but like then too, like now 2020 with this COVID stuff, like everything is kind of unusual. So at least it's great for me. It's almost more normal than for most people because although this theater and this theater town, like it's very unusual, at least I get to go in the theater and practice and do some shows. So there's still some regularity. And for most people, I think in Los Angeles too, like everything closed and everything. So like they had a full schedule and now they have nothing. So even though they're in a bigger town where it's more stuff that's compared to Rotterdam or Amsterdam or all that, it's still more unusual for them, although the area is more normal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So when did you start juggling? How old were you?
So You said you were started at 9. I tried one time when I was 8 years old, but then I didn't know how to do it. And then I was 12. I found the book in the library, and then I just kept practicing.
Okay, very good. I found a book in the
It's
library.
over 20 years ago now.
And you wrote a book. You later wrote a book. So I'm like, you found a book, and now you wrote a book.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's what I tell them in the shows too. Like, kids, I learned from a book, and here, if you want to learn it too, this is the book now that I wrote. So you can learn it from that one the same way that I learned it.
Yeah, that's very cool. Now your shows, you probably have to like really write. Do you write out your shows? Like, what routine is that? Like, do you have like a whole outline when you do a show?
Yeah, you do, but then every show has kind of like building blocks. So every act. So that's too. You have for up till last year, you work on all these bits with volunteers and all the and cool stuff, and now you cannot use them. So then you just go, okay, how can I use all those blocks and make it still flow? And that's too, like, I do the evening shows here, which have to be great on their own, but also promote my morning show. And then you cannot repeat too much. So it's like you have all those blocks, at one point, okay, this is an act that would work well as an opener. This is an act that will work good as a closer. This keeps the energy going. This is good for that reason. And then your material. And then at one point you can structure it in a certain way. So you can say, okay, for this fair, I need whatever half-hour show, and here in this theater, I need 70-minute show. So you go, okay, these are my core acts, and I can, according to the audience, I can do this act in addition to the other ones.
I never thought of it. That actually makes sense. I guess you do the same. I mean, there's different things you can juggle, obviously, but if you do the same thing every single time, then I guess it just makes it not. I mean, you change it up. You need to like make sure that things are different.
Yeah, the venue is different, and what every type of show needs is different. Like if you do only 12 minutes, or maybe a theme park was 25, and then a cruise ship was 45, and so like every venue needs a different length.
Yeah, I never thought of it before. That's very interesting. Now, how does one get into the Guinness Book of World Records as a job? I mean, like, I always wonder what that process is like. Like, can you kind of talk me through how that kind of like?
It's kind of like a matter of luck. So there's certain parts that you can do and you have to do. Like if you don't have a Guinness World Records, there's no chance, of course. And then you have to, but then there's so many world records in the database of Guinness World Records. So every year they have a selection, and only that selection makes it into the book. And then even a smaller selection makes it into the book with a photo. So it's a matter of like, yeah, just luck. But then also I have set like 8 Guinness World Records. So then you have a bigger database. They can pick from multiple. If you only have one, the chance is a little slimmer. But then in some records like chainsaw juggling and all that stuff, has a higher chance to end up in the book. So some records, they're just very commercial. So it's more likely that they broadcast those, a little bit more than the other ones. But like further, like you can never really guarantee it. So it's always a matter of luck that the editor is going to pick your record.
What do you in for exactly? Do you remember?
So this year it's going to be the most throws with a Chinese yo-yo or diablo around my arm within a minute.
Wow, that's crazy. So you obviously practice, timed yourself, and then.
Well, this one, it was a trick that I did in the opener of the show. And the show we did it twice a day, 6 days a week. So I got pretty good at the trick just by doing it in the show. So I didn't have to practice that much for it. Some records, you only do it for the record, and some I rather do the records that are also tricks that I can do in my show. Yeah. Because then when you do it in the show, you automatically get better at them. But then also it's more interesting to the audience if they see a trick that you have the world record of live into your show.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You keep doing it. You obviously get better when you do it. You keep doing it over and over again. That's like like in anything. Yeah, you just keep doing it. But that's really cool. So you're in for that, and what else are you in for?
Well, different years. One time I was in the book for the most amount of juggling cups juggled. So that was kind of cool. My friend, he's now 82. He was the best at his day with that trick. And it was one of the few that did it. And then he taught me how to do the trick. And then I broke the world record and I made it into the book with that one. So that was really cool on multiple levels. And then I went into the book one time for longest duration of juggling blindfolded.
Oh, wow, you could juggle blindfolded?
Yes. So
Oh,
that's a cool trick in the show. So I'm going to do that here in the show as well.
wow. That is crazy talk. You could juggle blindfolded. That's amazing. That's
Yeah. So like it's kind of weird because like at one point you get so good at it that you already have a feel where the objects are going to come down at, even without seeing it.
well, I would think that your senses would get heightened then because you're taking away the sight. Like, can you hear it? Can you hear them when you're juggling? Can you hear the
Yeah,
object?
and it was very strange too. When I was practicing for the record, like because I've seen that pattern so many times, it was almost that my brain filled in the visual of what it should look like, even though I couldn't see it.
That's interesting. See, our mind is strong. Our mind is very complex.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing.
That's really crazy. Well, I mean, juggling blindfold. I know that one. What are some of your favorite things to juggle with? I mean, you juggle with everything, I'm sure, but like, what are some things that you like juggling with them?
Yeah, it's fun. Like you go to different phases. Like every time when you try a new trick or a new prop, then you go to this learning curve. It's just fun to learn something new. And at one point, then you're never done. There's not a single juggler in the world that can do all the tricks.
Yeah.
But like at one point, you go, okay, now I got a basic view and a basic understanding, and like they're all kind of similar. So then, if you have a totally new prop, it becomes more fun. So, the contact juggling was for the longest time was my favorite thing, where you roll ball on your hands or your arms, and then now it's like a ball bouncing. Before I didn't like the ball bouncing, but now with a new cool prop, it's like a big V, and the balls they bounce in it. So it's like a new toy. So now it's really fun to practice that. And for the longest time, it was the cups. And the cups was also the most frustrating thing because if they're a little dirty or they're not balanced well, they don't spin accurately. And then so like it was the most fun. It was the most frustrating at the same time too.
I know we're on this little call here. I wish you could juggle something for us. I don't know if can you show us something or no? Is it too hard?
Yeah, I can. So my battery is charged enough. So let's
go.
walk into the theater.
This is exclusive. Show me.
So yeah, like there's not that many theaters that are even open right now.
Oh, I know.
But this one, let me see. Like we have now it's completely dark. But I'm gonna turn on the lights. So here's a big reveal. So
big reveal. There we go. Oh, cute.
Just only a little bit. And now with the stage light on as well. So it's real big. It's like a 600 seat theater. And it looks like a barn because it's the Amish Country theater.
Yes.
And so we have a balcony as well, which is very handy because now with these crazy times, we have the social distancing, of course.
Oh, yes.
So we do, it's a row where people can sit, and then a row in between where it's empty, a row where people can sit,
Glad you said
and then when it's empty again.
Okay.
But then we have like empty seats in between parties as well. So you still lose 30%. You lose 70%. You end up with 25, 30% capacity, which is not a lot. Like my juggling clubs are laying right here. So let me set it up.
Okay.
Let's go. I'm
so excited. I'm so excited.
The rings. So
I love it. Oh.
Well, wait, there's more.
I love it. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, that's still good.
It's live, so we cannot cut that one out, but
that's still good. Look how they're spinning. I love it.
I'm still on the screen, right? Perfect.
Yeah, still on screen. Yeah, you're still on screen. That was good, though. That was so good. The way they were spinning, like when you had them in the air, they were spinning and then coming back down. The pins.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's always like it's kind of tough when you don't warm up and the lights because it's the house lights.
Yeah.
It's not like the stage lines, but like at least you get a little flavor.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're still
thank
working.
you. I appreciate that. That's so good. Look at that. That's your poster, your banner.
Yeah, we have like this is one of the billboards I'm on that one because it's just
Hey.
like everything got delayed because of the COVID and the opening of the theater season.
Yeah.
And then yeah, of course, the farms, I'm juggling cows.
Hey, you're juggling cows. That's so funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's and then you can
that is hilarious. That is hilarious.
And you flip the cows. So I'm juggling 3 cows.
I love it.
So it's funny with all the comedy. If you so it's like if I do it successfully, we have a milkshake. At the end of on the floor. There you go. You got ground beef. It's a very expensive trick. It's not the cow. It's the inflation.
I like that. I do. I like that.
I'm so happy these are not elephants because if you drop those, they never forget.
But That's
but
right.
it's like,
I love it.
It's good with a comedy show. You have funny comedy, like because it's kind of goofy with the cows. Like you cannot make it a serious routine. It's like okay, let's make it like goofy, and then you have the other stuff that is more serious and slick and everything. So that's just like it's a 2-hour show. So like some routines, you want to have them look spectacular and dangerous. The others only you want to have goofy and like so just mix it up. But the cows is definitely the funny goofy routine.
I do. I think we did. I love that. It's so good. I do. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, this is great. This theater like has a nice backstage area. So like this is the opening number. The guy comes in on a
tractor. The tractor. Yes, I see that.
And that's the V. The prop that looks like a V that you can bounce the balls on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's my props as well. But look, it's right now we're in the middle of like really going full force because tomorrow we have dress rehearsal for the second show. Yeah. And then Friday we do the opening of the second production show. The Saturday morning it's the opening of my show, and then we have all the promo on top as well. So this couple days is like the most crazy time for us this year.
Do you ever get nervous? Anymore?
Sometimes it's just most time when you don't have the time to prepare everything, so you cannot really, be certain of every little element, like the technical side with the lights and the music and all that stuff. And it's just this weekend is going to be so much. We have like a show. We have a dress rehearsal Thursday afternoon, show Thursday, then the other show is Friday, and then we still need to do dress rehearsal for my show Friday morning. Saturday we're going to start with my show, and then Saturday night we have the other production show again. So it's a lot of difference. It's like so you have every routine and every character thing. You have to train your mind and get into the zone to do that one. So that's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah, very good. Well, I thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. I think you're great. I hope to come see you one day in person. I'd love to see you in person.
Yeah, it would be great. And for everybody that's watching, if they want to see more, of course, like of me, then they can go to comedyjuggler.com, and then they just click on the YouTube link, and then they can see of the stuff that I do here, like and how it looks in action when it's live here again.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So go there, folks, and check him out. He's also on all social media. So you can go to social media. He's on Instagram and everything, and follow me. I'm following you now on Instagram and stuff. So you'll see my name will pop up in your stuff.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's of course. Cool. Yeah, you got a fan for life now. My Dutch cousins, I got a fan for life. Got a fan.
So cool. Brothers from different mothers.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. See, exactly. So it could happen. But no, I'm very excited for you. I want to say, we always say, break a leg, have a good show.
Thank you.
Those kind of things. I mean, I'm very excited for you, and I hope you stay safe and everything while you're out there also at the same time.
Yeah, we do the social, of course, not plenty of social distancing, and then not barely any volunteers, and and then masks and all that stuff, just to. But yeah, it's good. People are very happy to be able to come out of the house and see a live show somewhere because it's just so hard now.
It is. I mean, we need to come to LA. We don't have anything in LA right now. We can't do anything. So
yeah, it's like, but it's also like I think here, like this part of the country, it's a lot different than Los Angeles. So I think with some of the rules, like maybe Los Angeles wouldn't think it's possible or wouldn't go for it. But here, so it's a different political climate. So here we can do it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Niels, for your help, and just please have a good show, good job, and thanks for talking with us.
Thank you so much. That was fun. Thanks.
Take care.
See ya.
And so that was Niels Duinker. He's actually on all social media platforms. So you can go follow him there, comedyjuggler.com. I just, I was gonna try, but since he's really good, I was like, there's my little juggling bit for you, and that's it. But I have my balls that I use. Also, I do lemons, bananas. I'm part of the Juggling International Juggling Federation Association. Also, I've always liked juggling. For some reason, it's something that I love watching it. I love seeing it. I love doing it. It's a fun little trick to do. It's hand-eye coordination, and I'm so glad he's able to get work for us. And I know that right now, it's a great example of people who are finding ways to make work out of what they love to do. And that's a great lesson for all of us out there. It's like, you like doing something, try to figure it out, maybe make work out of it. Yeah. I'm James Lott Jr. Extra Connections is on JLJ Media again. So go to YouTube and go ahead and like the channel there. We're also on every streaming platform service. So if you're listening to this, you're going to want to come to the actual video and watch him do the couple of juggle bits that he did. He's in rehearsal, he's doing stuff, but you want to see the couple and see the theater. It's really great. So if you're listening, thank you for listening, of course. After you're finished listening, come to the YouTube channel and check out the bits of the theater and stuff and his juggling. You don't want to miss that. We're on every streaming service you can think of out there. So go ahead and follow us there under Extra Connections, JLJ Media, James Lott Jr. Go ahead and like us there. And the page on Facebook, Extra Connections Show. Go ahead and like the page. And I have all kinds of stuff on the guests and more shows. I have all kinds of other shows I've done. We are connecting with people, places, things, and ideas. And I'm James Lott Jr. Wash your hands, wear a mask. See you next time.